Hey everybody, welcome to the Relume live stream. I'm your host Josh Lowe, and with me on today's stream is Marce Russo. We are super excited to have him on. He's the CEO and creative technologist of Friends Agency. On Twitter, he is a self-proclaimed chillax overachiever. I think that's really hard to get to, so that's really awesome. He's landed some crazy heavy Webflow clients like the Futur with Christo, the United States Airforce, School of Motion, and so on. It's insane. So who's this episode for? It's really it's going to appeal for people towards who are agency owners, freelancers, business owners who just want to find top tier clients. So we're going to get into that. So before we start, let's switch it up. We're gonna bring on Marce. Hey,
What's up, everybody?
good to see ya. All right, let's see who is in the house here. We have Walker, Kevin, good to see you. Gabrielle, Sean, good to see you. Kevin, Watkins, awesome. All right, man, good to see you guys. Let's. Oh, right. So before we go ahead, if you guys have any questions, just put a big giant Q in the chat in the comments, and then it'll be easy for me to find. So what we're gonna do today is just get into your story, get to know you, Marce, hear about how you landed these crazy clients. I'm learning a new term from these Aussies. Dan and Adam would say heavies. So yeah, how you landed these heavies, and and then we're gonna dive into your branding process because you're right in the middle of rebranding your whole website. So we're gonna get into a little bit of a design as well, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. So so tell us a bit about your background. How'd you get started in Webflow? How long have you been in the industry? Let's start with that.
Well, it's a little bit. I'm not that new in the world of technology. I'm from Argentina originally, and I'm a
Nice.
computer grad. So it's been, I would say, about 16, 17 years that I've been in this space.
Wow.
Which every time I think about it, it goes a little bit more crazy than before.
You're a
The
veteran.
number, yeah, the number keeps getting bigger. I don't know why. uh, and the very first of, as many of you probably didn't like the idea of being the CEO of your own company or running your own company. So I just kept on working through the life and being employee for someone else until I would say about 12 years ago, I met my first co-founder, Alejandro,
Okay.
and he was crazy adamant that he wanted to partner with me, and so much that he started the company, and then he let me know in that order. So that's how our first company and our current parent company, Curum, came to pass. And with that, we were a traditional software agency working for clients in Latin America, building applications for startups, and it was a very very long ride. Um, and but the story comes to be super super fun when I decided to leave Argentina.
Okay.
Out of the blue, one night, literally, I just bought tickets, told my friends and family I'm leaving next Sunday, and amidst the laughs, by the time I already told them, it's like, can someone give me a ride to the airport? I kind of need to go.
Hmm.
That's where everybody realized that I was leaving, and I landed in the U.S. Uh, Everybody here had a side gig, and I said that sounds like super fun.
Hmm.
And check with my friend and partner Ale, and he said it's like we should totally ramp this up. So since I've been here in the U.S., Curum became a very very focused agency staffing projects working for international companies like Open English. But it was very much of a you need a product, we build and code,
Hmm.
not specifically let's do something beautiful as we all know and love from the products in Webflow. Um, so going on from there,
Okay,
that
hold
was
on. I gotta pause you. There's a lot to
oh yeah.
unpack. Uh, where in Argentina were you? In Buenos Aires or somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I'm a Buenos Aires native, but I was
Okay.
born in a province called Tucumán.
Okay. So how old or what year did you leave and come to the States?
So right now it's about 8 years ago, so that would
Okay.
make it 2014, I think,
Okay.
if my math is right enough.
Wow. So like let's unpack that. Like what made you said, people were laughing at you, like obviously you felt some resistance. What was going through your head like taking that leap, like just to like go?
Yeah, definitely. Argentina is it's an interesting climate, and for people that know international politics at all,
Mm.
it's very fluctuating. The economy is not super crisp and easy. So building and growing any company or continuing the progress, it's always kind of like an uphill battle. The currency keeps changing. The Your effort keeps going to waste every few years. So I have a deep admiration to all of those entrepreneurs that are still building from Argentina.
Mm.
Um, I thought that I was going to have a lot more success if I was able to just focus on working on the company and making it bigger. And I came to visit for travels a couple of times in the U.S. and it was like, yeah, this seems a lot easier, and
Hmm.
definitely all of the complexities that build the early stages of Curum and my career were a cornerstone for part of that growth that we are going to see when we start more working with Webflow.
Okay, wow. That's amazing. And you went straight to Florida, is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. I landed here, and the first night I met my wife. She was the first person I talked in the U.S. Uh,
What? That's nuts.
but I'm talking
Okay.
literally out of the plane into the arms of my wife.
Okay.
No fun,
Okay.
no fun in between.
How did that happen? Can you share a bit? Like, was she a
Yeah, definitely.
stewardess? Was she in the working in the
No.
air?
So the funny story is like I came here originally with a few friends to just party,
Okay.
and my flight was supposed to arrive earlier, and it ended up arriving at midnight.
Okay.
So my friends were already all dolled up and ready to go to clubs, and I was like, nope, I need to sleep, guys. It's been a horrible 17 hours flying with the layovers and all of that. So
Yeah.
when I came back and I landed here, they gave me a T-shirt and a lot of Red Bull. I was like, let's go to club.
Nice.
It was a 5 against 1 decision, so we
Okay.
ended up in the club. And I'm a salsa instructor. I love to dance.
Oh
Um,
wow.
I'm not gonna lie, Americans don't really come with a lot of rhythm in all of that aspect. So inside the club, my wife was the only one carrying a beat, and it's like,
Right.
I want to dance with
Okay.
you, and I just
Okay.
went to her, and the rest is history.
All right, there you go. There's some good advice. If you're moving into the States, fly to Florida, learn salsa, find your true love.
Oh, that's
That's
definitely a good
good.
sequence.
Hey, I just want to welcome Florencia. Good to see you.
Hey, Flor.
Walker says, hey, he's back. Yeah, rhythm advantage. Hey, I love salsa. That's so good. So good. Okay. So all right. So you're here and then let's just skip forward. Like how did you decide to become CEO? And like what was that decision like or that process? I know you've probably been working a lot with your business partner, like I think what Q Room? Is that
Yeah.
that's the company? Yeah.
So it was an interesting part. The first is like with my other co-founder right now, Esteban. He's my best friend from childhood, and I he was always like pushing me. It's like, you can do it, you can do it.
Mm.
And I was becoming tired of building things that were not beautiful, something that I would not be able to show my mom. And it's like, Mom, look at this, I built this. I was like, this doesn't look really nice, but inside is beautiful. The code is magnificent. So the year that I found Webflow was the year I said we are changing to a creative technology agency.
Okay.
And after talking with my co-founder Ale, my first co-founder, we said, "It's like with that, I want to take the reins. It's like I want to make sure that this succeeds."
Right.
So that's basically when we started thinking about Qroom, and with that, my best friend Esteban joined the team. And through that period of time, Webflow was transformational. We changed the amount of people that we had in the company, from being a lot of people in the staff augmentation area to have employees that were actually helping us grow our technology and our creative designs. And we rebranded. So that what you're seeing there after, like, I think 8 iterations of that website,
Okay.
is our creative technology website.
This is so
And
nice.
I think from there we have a little bit of what we wanted to be as friends. But Kirum is much more than just me and my partner Esteban and Alejandro. We love to build companies. We love to build products. We love to help entrepreneurs and do marketing strategies and brand activations. Right now, Ale is working hard with Curum on the Web3 space. So all
Hmm.
of that began to feel a little bit disconnected for a parent company that, and myself talking a lot about Webflow.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to have a conversation and think, okay, this is a vertical. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's an entire company that can be part of Q Room, but with its own branding. And 2 years ago, that's how the conversations about Friends Agency started, as a
Okay.
splinter off, a spin-off of Q Room, child of Q Room.
Okay.
And as you were saying, right, it's like right now we are finalizing. This is our interim site. We're
So
trying
cool.
to quickly work up to get it finalized.
I love it. You guys have such. Yeah. So we're gonna dive into this later on, but that is amazing. Okay, so let's just jump right in. Like, everyone wants to know how the heck, like, you're the one designing and actually updating the Future's website. Um, I think just to clarify, like, you kind of did like a rehaul. You didn't because they designed their
Yeah.
first website, right? And then you came in and just like gutted it and rebuilt the CMS and all that stuff. So yeah, maybe you can share like the services you did and even how you landed that.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start for making sure that we give the credit where credit's due.
Mm-hmm.
The Future team, everybody knows all of that beautiful, amazing group of people.
Mm-hmm.
I did not design that. I would love to say that I have that vision, but that is pure heads and brains of the Future team. It was already in Webflow, um, but as you can imagine, it's a huge enterprise. It's a huge company, amount of pages and libraries and everything else. It was becoming something difficult for the team to manage alone. And interestingly enough, there were a lot of little situations that led me to get in contact with Ben Burns.
Okay.
And the first and most easy one was, of course, finding the Future, as many of you probably did directly from.
I just realized, oh my, you are part of the whole gang. Like, dang, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
there's little on me.
That's awesome.
And everybody probably found out about the Future from their YouTube videos or one of their trainings or the social media.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much similar for me. Was one day I found out Chris in a YouTube video about Ikigai. I
Yes.
I decided, it's like, oh my god, this guy really truly knows how to bring home something so abstract.
Mm-hmm.
And subsequently, I found out the Future. I met the rest of the team, and I joined the Pro Group, which is
Okay.
their a closed group circle that they have, where they get monthly calls and all of that. And from there, I started to meet a lot of people. I tried to become active. I wanted to learn a lot about design and typography. I resonated a lot with the entire business process. So that's how I started meeting them. And when interacting with that group, Ben Burns started to have a product that is called Built by Hand, where he was
Mm-hmm.
rebuilding his own portfolio in Webflow. Um, so I joined his streams, I joined his little community about it, and we just started talking. I started participating and interacting. And interestingly enough, one day I just found a video from Chris saying, if you want an opportunity, you just have to ask for it. So after interacting a bit with Ben, it's like, do you think there's anything that I can help you out with? And that's literally how it started. It's
That's
like, well,
insane.
we have this and we having this couple problems. I mean, do you think you can fix them and bring some value there?
Right.
Um, and I think that now it's already been close to a year and something,
Okay.
uh, and it all keep on growing organically. And it's amazing to be able to work with that type of talent because you see the quality of the people and of what how they produce this amazing work. That when
Mm-hmm.
you, for me, it's just I just need to sit down and think of Webflow structures to support the growth of this company and team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy.
So okay, like so, what kind of services did you do for them, or are you're continuing? You're still in the
So, so the first one
continual
was
basis.
the site was built with traditional approach with Webflow.
Mm-hmm.
So we said we can probably ump it up to what Timothy Riggs is doing with Wizardry.
Okay.
So
So
we kind of like,
responsiveness.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was a huge endeavor. Definitely, we wanted to make sure that we did a good job for them, and seeing the amount of pages that are visible for the majority of people and the ones that they really have,
Mm-hmm.
it was a huge change to find a way to mix how to upgrade a website versus keeping it exactly as it is
Right.
without disturbing and having pages that have different typography and make it bigger and smaller. So that was kind of like our first challenge on how to really work with a huge company.
Was that like a big need for them to like? Was that like performance issues,
Um, I
having
don't know if I would
responsiveness and all
classify
that,
it
or
as a big need,
yeah.
um, but it was a ticket item on their bucket list to have a more performing site, to
Yeah.
have a more seamless UI. At this point, when you are using pixels, we all know the limitations when you don't use adaptive typography.
Mm-hmm.
So different screen resolutions were having problems, issues were being brought up, and going through the wizardry method update allowed them to have something that worked for all the screens, for small, big, intermediate, tablets, phone. Everything was a lot more easy to manage and not to
Mm.
worry about someone that has an obscure version of a phone with a different resolution that is very big, that is almost tablet, and the font family now it's like super super tiny.
Right. That's great. Okay, so like, is there a strategy that people can follow and
Yeah.
landing
uh,
their own future client?
so funny enough, I said it a couple of times already. It's like just asking about it. And we were talking a bit earlier and many of our talks before. A lot of it, a lot of the things that can happen when you are looking for that big fish
Mm-hmm.
is to really be prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not trying to bite more than you can chew.
Mm-hmm.
And my best friend Esteban, my co-founder, has a story of his previous company working with Coca-Cola, and he had a the he said I can land the Coca-Cola account, but the rest of the company was not there yet. So you need to have your craft under control, your processes, the team, and be ready to take the challenge as a group. And sometimes it happens that you bite more than you can chew, and then you burn actually that project.
Mm-hmm.
So for us was a lot of training, a lot of sleepless nights, making sure that we were ready to take a big client.
Mm-hmm.
And only then we started the conversations and said, hey, is there something that you need? Is there something that you can do? Because we were definitely not taking it lightly, the
Mm-hmm.
possibility of landing a big client, one of our dream clients, and not being able to deliver.
Right.
And as
Yeah.
many of you, and I know a lot of the people that are listening to us may have either smaller agencies or be freelancers, and that goes to honing your craft. It's
Mm-hmm.
like it, landing a client is a mix between opportunity and being ready. And if you're ready, the opportunity will present, so you can take it. But make sure that you can over deliver, make sure that you can make them happy, and take it from there.
Man, that's tweetable. That's a good one.
Hashtag.
I think that is the difference because, a lot of people out there just say like just shoot for the stars, just go and like, throw your hat over the wall and then like fake it till you make it or like and then or you'll learn as you go. But I feel like when it comes to big clients like this, you don't want to do that. Like you want to be at a competent level where like your craft because if you screw up like You don't want to screw up with the future. You don't want to screw up with, big clients. So,
And the
yeah.
fun thing is that for people that run agencies, and I always enjoy talking to Diego, to Maria, to everybody, and I think of, do we really know what we're doing? Do we really know our craft? And the answer is no. Normally, for people like us, is no.
Hmm.
There's always room for improvement. There's the insecurity. There's the imposter syndrome.
Hmm.
So, but you know what you know a little bit,
Hmm.
right? And then if you feel like the gap between what is the worst thing that can happen here, am I ready to take it? And if
Right.
you are ready to take it, that's kind of like your symbol. To
Hmm.
give you all of you an idea, we are not great 3D artists. We're trying to get there. We have a couple clients that are asking us for 3D work. Well, if you have a 3D work, we can use it in our designs. We can prepare it, but
Hmm.
we are getting there. We know that there's a gap that we need to close, and we have constant conversations internally with the team. How are we going to get to that place?
Hmm.
And that's what the part that you guys need to know. How to get to the other place, and to see if that's something that you can learn and be proficient, so you can sell it to someone else.
So good. Guys, if you have any questions, drop it in the comments. Um, I think you guys can, gain a lot from Marce. Uh, let's cover some other clients. Let's go with this.
Oh yeah.
I think, is there a little intro?
Yeah, I can. Well, that one was one of these amazing projects, and was one
Okay.
of those first type of projects. Out of the pro group, we met with Radcat, an amazing agency that creates things that are still above what I think I can do. And
Yeah.
I admire everybody there so much. And as I built the relationship with the people in the pro group, we started talking with them and landed here in that conversation. And Andre and Brendan, they're the co-founders of Ratcat, trusted us to join their team in this case, to work for this project. And this is currently also an ongoing project with us, because after we made an amazing partnership, they decided to help us. It's like, here's now is your client, bring it home. We trust you. And
Right.
that was definitely something that has marked a lot of the ethos of friends and the people that we want to work with, and
Hmm.
how we want to be for everybody else. Um, because from that, we met with accomplices, which is the main company that it's working with them.
This is
and
insane.
and then from there, Tisa Lau, the CEO of Accomplices, is a fantastic executive. And literally, when we started working with them, Tisa said a beautiful word that right now, a beautiful phrase that is right now with us forever and ever, which is, I know, I trust you guys.
Ooh.
When your designs go bananas. And it's
Right.
like, we can rein it in. This is the United States. They have their things that they don't want to change. But you go crazy, come back, and we'll trim it out until it's something that they want. And her vision to talk to this magnificent team of people that serve us, has allowed us to create whatever we wanted, and bring it home, basically. And but to
That's
land
nuts.
this account and to keep it is extremely complex. The events that they put, that's the one that you're seeing right now, right?
Hmm.
All of those are events with complex landing pages and massive requirements, and you don't want to mess up an event with the air forces. So
Wow.
they are on the floor doing hybrid events and talking to all of them. And we had to be there, and as partners, to make sure that everything was perfect, top notch,
Wow.
and engaging. So whenever they need through those periods, like day or night, just pick up the phone and call us.
That is insane. So this is all through just referrals or yeah, in your network, right?
Yeah, I mean, this was
Yeah.
the initial parts of when we were working a lot with the pro members, that were in
Okay.
that group.
Got it.
Um, but from there was a lot of going into different communities and different groups,
Hmm.
and just talking to people. And that's how we ended up talking to Joey, the founder of School of Motion.
Okay.
And through the group on Flux Academy, we kind of like connected through different angles, and we heard that they were looking to do an upgrade to go into the space of Webflow.
Right.
So um, we literally send them an email, and then it's like, "Hey Joey, are you actually looking for Webflow development?"
Yeah.
So we
Just like
connected
that, hey?
inside, and it's like, "Hey man, we sent you a proposal, so let's see if we can talk." And out of everything, all of those connections, um, we submit the proposal, we go through the sales process with them, um, and then I find out that he's a very good friend with Ben.
Okay.
But when I was talking to Ben, it's like, "Hey, yeah, we're pitching for School of Motion." I know that they connected, and that's how kind of like the group and the community then chalked us up, thanks to the work that we were doing with them, and the community actually in that case came together and said like, sure, worked with Q Room at that time with friends,
Yeah.
um, to do this, and that was one of our first enterprise customer clients.
That's insane. That is
And I'm
so
not gonna
crazy.
lie, that was super hard. And I don't know if it is a success. It's there, and I know it's working. And I've talked with Webflow specialists and in the enterprise, and I know that they are happy with it. But that was one example where sometimes in some moments we bit more than we could chew. We
Hmm.
didn't know a lot about how Webflow Enterprise actually worked. So we made a lot of plans, and then as we were progressing, we found out how that particular process was different from just building the infrastructure that School of Motion had behind, and
Mm.
how we kind of like had to piece with that, with the Webflow technologies.
Right.
And we had some rough patches there, where we had to just sit down and learn, and I had to sit down with my lead engineers and backend engineers, and look into how to actually do it. I'm happy that it actually ended up working out.
Hmm.
I would have been more happy if we could have made it a little bit more smooth, that experience for them.
Man, that is crazy. Uh, I got some comments on this website. Aaron saying site on another level. Designs are fire. Briona's loving it. So good. That's
And
awesome.
I am going to give ourselves, at friends and our creative director Gabrielle, a pat in the back. But there's a lot of the hands of Ratcat in there still,
Hmm.
and it just amazes us that people like what we do, when I personally admire what they do so much.
Right.
And nobody is saying, "Oh, this is Ratcat or this is you." So it's a it makes me proud in a particular level.
Yeah. I mean, so this was another one that I picked up from your portfolio, and I thought it was so beautiful. Like this scroll interaction here. So this is quantumtemple.io. Um, yeah, I
Well,
love this egg. This is so nice.
Quantum Temple actually was a very interesting project. Our creative director Gabi had the majority of the hands in there,
Yeah.
and when we were looking into it, uh, it basically, um, had to marry very complex ideas, and we decided to go as much as we could in the design.
Okay.
And let me give you a better link to
Sure.
see, because we Quantum Temple is a drop shipping.
Okay.
Let me send it to you on Twitter, so
Okay.
you have.
Let me pull that up here.
So with the drop shipping that they have, they were calling it moon drops, and kind of like we had to go through
Ooh.
understanding what a moon drop is and how it looks like. And so the site that you were seeing before is in between the moon drops.
Okay.
So this one
I just
would
love
be,
that video. Oh,
yeah,
so nice.
definitely.
Wow.
And they the founder, and the way that he also allowed us to work and with the
Ooh.
creative aspect of all of this. um, I think that it was before the "Go Bananas" phrase, but they definitely let us stretch our creative wings.
Wow. Moondrop. So what is? Oh, is that their product?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Moondrop is not actually the product; is the marketing name of, when you have
Okay.
this product that it has a limited release and it's gonna come up. I
Oh,
don't
a
know,
drop.
a drop, yeah.
Oh man,
Um,
this is so nice.
and they have it. They bring these creators from all over the world, and they create that particular drop and they put it out there.
Look at this. This is amazing. It just keeps going. Oh,
Oh
there
yeah,
you go. There you go. Wow. Love it. You guys have done some amazing work. This is so nice on the parallax scroll.
yeah.
Beautiful.
It's always a hats off because as someone that is not the creator or that can start from scratch on Figma, our creative director and our clients, they come together so nicely during their meetings, and basically think always outside of the box, and
Hmm.
then they create this. I just make sure that it works for the business.
Right. So, okay, can you share a little bit about like I don't know, the challenges or the lessons learned from like not just not the design, but managing these giant clients. How often do you have to talk to them? How often do you have to like coordinate with your team? Yeah, like is it doable? Is it always challenging? Is it always different? If you can give like yeah, it's a very big,
It's
broad question, but yeah,
no. Actually, I'm laughing because it's like, is it doable? I mean, I think it is. I'm still alive, and we're all still alive.
yeah,
But at the same time, it requires a lot.
right,
There are some long days where it's not about being hands on with the team. They know what to do. I
okay,
just get out of the way,
okay,
uh, because more often than not, and that's one of the ways that I measure the growth of my team, is like, more often than not, I'm wrong. It's like
mm,
I go and say, it's like, yeah, we should do this. It's like, nope. And the client comes back and says like, that's a bad idea.
mm-hmm,
It's like, yeah, that's why I'm just gonna let the creatives do their thing, and then just focus on how to interact with them to make sure that they meet the designs that we present meet the business objective. Um, but the way that we work a lot is we recognize the value that we bring to the table
mm-hmm.
as experts, as people that know what we're doing. So our process, hats off against here now to John D. Saunders with the standard operating procedures. Um,
Oh yeah.
Definitely that allowed us to clean up a lot our act and know what we have to do in each phase. And
Okay.
we say, this is what we do. And from the work with our project managers and account managers, it's always, how do we bring the client in a way that the client can participate as much as they want, but if they don't get the information to us in the right moment, they are aware that we are experts enough to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And we always try to keep that trust. And I think I said one time before, is like, we love doing mood boards, right? One of those early stages when you
Mm-hmm.
go out into the world and you research. But then when you work with the mood boards, it's, if you tell the client, just tell me 3 sites that you want or 5 sites that you want, they're going to come back with, they need some framework.
Okay.
So when we what we do is try to put 3 buckets with some very referential names,
Mm-hmm.
um, that gives us information, and allow the client to go look for something. So either retro or modern.
Mm.
Sometimes we say it's like cool with a twist. I don't know. We try to find creative names
Mm-hmm.
to put that, and then we say, our team is going to bring back 3 options for each one of these buckets. If you can, by next Friday, bring me your 5. Just put him there.
Mm.
So through that, we loop the client where, if they want, but they don't feel pressured to go and find things if they don't have the time, because sometimes, and as many of you know, the day flies by, and by the time you want to say, I want to focus on that, it's 11 p.m. and you're tired.
Right. How big's your team?
So right now we are at 19 people,
Okay.
but they are not all on our Webflow team. Our Webflow team is rather compact. but we have people that are doing creative. So the Gabby's creative team is our creative director, Caro, the art director, and three people more that are working on the designs.
Mm,
We have our lead engineer, Richard. He's our Webflow expert. He's the one that does the magic. And then we have three more people working in there. We have backend engineers that work
mm.
the technical solutions that go behind when we need authentications, servers, cloud functions. And plus, Webflow is not the only thing we do. We do Flutter engineering, which is mobile apps.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
so we have four people there.
You guys pushing the envelope for development. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think you're really ahead of the game when you're on Flutter, because it's still early days for them, right?
And it's to be it's a very noble fruit. I read someone said that phrase and I loved it. It's like Flutter is kind of like a small version of what Webflow was more than 3 years
Right.
ago, more than the beginning.
Yeah.
It's extremely friendly. There are great no-code tools associated with Flutter,
Mm,
and we're still trying to work that one out because the no-code tools are not yet there, and it's still easier for a developer to develop in there.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But you can release on iOS and Android and web right now with native code, writing it in Flutter. So for applications, it's fantastic.
Nice. Jesse Neiman, that's such a great point. Trust from the client creates room to walk completely in your expertise. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's really good. Quick question from my homeboy Terry Moda: how is the best idea on selling yourself as Webflow designer without having any real client websites?
There was a fantastic thread that somehow someone started a few hours ago, actually, um, and I think it was Bree that we were just talking about. It's like spec work is really good work. I
Mm,
wouldn't shy away from just going into Dribble, going into Awards, and choose something to replicate. The As a Webflow developer or a Webflow designer, the main thing that agencies and people that want to work with you want to see is your work, is how you
mm-hmm.
think. How did you get to that final result? And Bree was showing her process doing that amazing macaroon website,
Yes, so
and
good.
that is all that I need. If I have anything that I can throw her way, it's gonna be sure no brainer. I know how she will think.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we were just talking about also showing the read-only links. Um, on the darker side of the situation, there's a lot of people that just clone a project, made some tweaks, and they call it their own, and that is going to be harder for you when you go with a real client where you cannot just clone something and just update it.
Mm-hmm,
So putting out the read-only link is going to show how you thought the HTML structure, the CSS classes, if you use wizardry, if you use client first, and
mm-hmm.
all of those amazing frameworks that are there. Um, they're going to give you the edge. And if you can show it, again, you're going to make it an easy no-brainer for anybody that wants to actually hire you.
Got it. That's good. Shout out to Briona. Uh,
Whoop,
who was
whoop.
it? We got highlighted by oh my goodness, Zach, is it? Brain fart already. Anyways, on Twitter, rising star, up and coming rising star in
Oh yeah.
Webflow Awards. That's great. Okay,
Well, I
let's
think there was another name in those rising stars that was shout out by the same person. You, my man.
yes.
Jesus. That is so on point.
Oh man, it's wild. It's thank you so much. That was a nice little highlight there. It's really cool. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive into. Okay, I'm gonna have you prep your share your screen, but before that, this is the new segment we want to introduce. This is a Lumer Limelight. I want to get like a little video, little intro outro thing, but for now, I want to highlight two Lumers and their websites. So this is nope, that's School of Motion. Okay, Good Time Agency, the winner of last week's Relume Rumble. He just freshly polished this, and so I just wanted to give a shout out on his beautiful branding, really nice. So if you guys want some inspiration here, reach out to Devin Fountain. He's been busy. So this actually is, if you look at the uncommon component here, this is layout 352. He kind of takes after this, but he kind of tweaked it a bit, because you'll notice that the picture is on the right side, whereas for him, he kind of made it on the left and right with scroll interaction. So that's where he took that from. Next is my man Tony Seats from Flow Maestro. Freshly developed website. We're lining him up to be on the stream, but if you look here, like really cool stuff. You'll hover here. You can actually, can you edit here? I do believe. Click. Okay, look at that. Some cool custom code going on here. You can edit here. This is also a uncommon component in Relume library that he kind of used. You'll notice, just play around with the website. It's flowmaestro.dev. You can kind of play around. Really cool stuff. You got this like drag and drop interaction going on here. There you go. Really good stuff. So, and one more thing. We got the FAQ section. I love this hover state. This is really neat. So yeah, got lots going on. Some components to highlight. What do we have here? Yeah, so this is header 75, which is basically that hero section that Flow Maestro, or that Tony did, but he did a little bit of a scroll interaction here. So a lot of cool stuff. And then finally, we have this component, which is layout 121. So head over. Here's our shameless plug. Oh, and some like our facts. This is fact 6. Go to Relume library and you'll easily get that, and you can just tweak it and make it look really good. So, all right, with that, we're gonna switch over to. You got your share screen ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Walker. Good to see you, man. That guy's busy.
So what you're gonna guys see is a little bit of our process of rebranding.
Okay.
This is the peek under the hood.
All
So
right.
let me give you guys a little bit of the story. When we decided to do a rebrand, we planned out a little bit of a rollout strategy because, of course, it's not something that you turn on and off. So right now we have an interim site in friends.com that actually is hopefully in the near future going to be finalized and we can update it into the full site. But through that, we had to discover a little bit more about what's our identity, how we want to make our team feel, our clients feel, and everybody else around us to reflect our identity and make it cohesive that when you talk to me, when you talk to my partner, when you talk to my team, it's all the same that you saw from day one. So, as you guys can expect, doing it for yourself is one of the most difficult tasks. So it's not as organized as we normally run our client projects.
Mm-hmm.
But we did have something in mind. That phrase that I said before, "Go bananas, Gabi," and Gabi, our creative director, literally let loose. So you'll see a little bit of what I want to show you guys is the progression of how everything starts from something. We provide some feedback, it opens it up, and when we open it up, then we begin to find the things that we want that work for everybody, and then we narrow it down into what's going to be a deliverable. So
Right.
this was his very first presentation.
Nice.
So
Okay, let's do it.
it started off, of course, and this goes after we did our branding. So we looked at our typography and color palettes.
Okay.
So he was framing in here at the very beginning a little interaction, and he began exploring different ways to present a very simple landing page, something that just had a little bit of information and prompt the users to go and click and connect with us. And through all of this, there were things that we liked and things that we didn't like. For example, on the left, the idea number one, this one, and the one and the sister one in night mode, they were a little bit all over the place. We really liked the message. We really liked a lot of what we had there with the big typography, but it was hard to find the call to action and what we wanted.
Okay.
So we started giving Gabi different directions, right? And Gabi is fantastic explorer of ideas. Um, so he started looking into different ways and to bring our brand identity items and our different typographies and personalities. Um, so all of this happened actually live with us. He's one of a kind on that,
Nice.
and bringing back. We said it's like, okay, we do you have enough elements that allow you to go into another iteration? And he said yes.
Okay.
So
Gotta put
from
some
the
beats on.
oh yeah. So
Okay.
from the
Yes.
any
How do you go
questions
from there?
there, Josh?
No, all good. It's really
Awesome.
awesome.
So I'm gonna fly on the timeline here and go to
So
June
for
9.
awesome for those watching, this is in Figma. This is just how Friends Agency ideate, just exploring all the different ways and in their rebrand. Very cool how you
So
just stuck it to one file.
yeah, definitely this is something that allows us to do exactly this and go back and find those ideas that were great.
Okay.
So he brought back these guys and the exploration continued.
Okay.
So the sections became a little bit more clean.
Mm-hmm.
We kept on finding that perfect typography size that we wanted, but still, in our opinion, this was not clear the call to action. But our branding elements and the way that we wanted to display things was beginning to take shape. Um, we wanted something that anchors a little bit about how we think differently. Um, so showing
Yeah.
a little bit more about us, the contact. Showcase also a little bit of what we can do for Webflow, because we did wanted to have something creative, but we are not just a creative agency. We are a creative technology, and we build what we have.
Mm-hmm.
So, there we go. So through all of this, these were all explorations on how we can present our portfolio or how we want to work it out. So
Nice.
once we always go through the same process, right? Again, expansion of the ideas, and then we select what we wanted. So we move into a little bit further down the line, and actually, it's not that further. It's just a little bit more. And one of the things that
Oh,
we
nice.
have is a very simplified landing page on the home page. That after we present our main business proposal, it was easy and cool to navigate. So
Mm.
Gabi was thinking of options where we have a quadrant sections, and when you highlight, it shows some pictures. So this is still all exploration from Gabi, and we started to look into how to present the portfolio.
I love this. This is so
He was
good.
thinking of a vertical scroll
Okay.
that was changing with the background. And we started looking into about sections where we tell our story a little bit our way. And at the same time,
Starting to come together. Love it.
now we have more crazy stuff. So we began to explore circles. One of the things that the Futur talks a lot is doubling down on the good choices and doubling down also on the bad choices. That way you push the idea as separate as possible, so you can say, I don't like this direction, let's keep on going with this one. So you see that in this option, everything was a little bit more square, while in the one that ended up moving forward was a little bit more circle oriented.
Okay.
So we presented the value proposition, then shrink it into a circle that had our information in the middle, and a lot of interactions here moving with this. So polish up a little bit more our about section, and began to have creativity on how we're going to present our expertise on the right.
Okay.
So we kept on playing with that, the things that worked, like the vertical scroll to present our portfolio, but we wanted to have it a little bit more creative twist. So with that, we looked into having that circle that you see there that's coming from the bottom and actually expand. So that was all an interaction that Gabby planned for us, and he did a prototype, which is amazing. Now,
That is so beautiful.
definitely we can fast forward to where we are today from this on.
Yes. Sneak
under
peek.
refinement.
What's the latest? Aha.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm not gonna go into too much detail,
Yeah.
because I want you all to experience it for the first time. But once we had the direction, what we wanted to do is kind of like bring it back into what we can do and with time frame we wanna have. So certain animations, certain interactions got simplified. The mobile was also prepared to actually have different layers of information, so be a little bit adaptive as much as we could. We began preparing our style guide. Definitely, guys,
Okay.
if you are not preparing a style guide as part of your deliverable, you're missing out. This is simplifying a lot for the development team, and it simplifies the work also for the creative team to have everything in a place that they can reference and actually work faster.
Nice. Guys, if you're enjoying this, smash that like. This is so good. It's way
So-
more organized and structured now. Like everything has its place.
Yeah.
like it was cool to see like you went far and wide in exploring, and then now you've honed it into like the layout, the structure. It's really nice.
Yeah. And then so we still always have our, for right now, our interim website that you guys can check at friends.com. But the idea is that eventually we try to present this in a way that for us, it represents the way that we are, what we can do in Webflow, what we can do as creatives, and tell that story. Personally, I love narratives. So that's one of the things that you'll see in the choose your own adventure example here of choosing where you want to go. That's why you have a circle with an arrow. Like you want to go here, you want to go there, explore there. But everything gives you all of that detail.
That's awesome. Bree said, great style guide. Kevin's asking, how do you plan for movement animation design? Do you always try prototype in Figma?
So it's been something that Gabby innovated actually in our last few projects. Figma increased a lot the capacity for their animations, and he's fantastic in increasing the speed of his learning. So in a week he already had everything sorted out, and he was able to create the entire flows and complex animations in Figma. So it simplifies certain things. When you want to do big page animations or present lottie interactions, Figma tends to have some good capabilities by being able to present little videos or
like GIFs and stuff too, right?
Yeah, exactly. But for example, I don't know if it's going to be always the best tool if you want to present fade-ins for text or in scroll animations, because it doesn't actually know the size of your screen.
Oh, okay.
So you actually stagger all of that into your scrolling narrative. It sounds a little bit too complex to do.
That's awesome. Gabrielle saying, really interesting to see how you iterate and handle design inspiration threads. Yeah, really cool.
Awesome.
All right. Anything else to share?
I think that this is as much as I'm going to share before we go live on this page.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. That's so good. Give it up. Oh, wait, hang on. There you go. Woohoo. Hey, really appreciate it. That was awesome. Nice little teaser and sharing your process. That was really, really good. Guys, ask more questions. I'm going to bring up all the questions. We're going to open it up for Q&A, and then we'll wrap it up. So scrolling back, Sean is asking, in your experience, would you say that the heaviest prefer to work with agency? Oh, the heavies, yeah. Or the big clients would prefer to work with agency over freelancers?
Interesting enough, I actually lost projects of big agencies to freelancers.
Oh,
Um, I would say
interesting.
it's a very even 50-50 split. It has to do with a lot of the person that it's on the other side. Like the big agencies, you're very rarely going to be talking to a CEO or the chief marketing officer. You're
Hmm.
going to be talking to some VP or creative director, and depending on their preference of being either hands-on, communication style, or transparency style, they're going to choose whatever fits them best. Um, that's one of the reasons why we on our current site in Q Room and the site that is coming up for friends, we want to be transparent about the process,
Hmm.
because I we know that that's a barrier for some big agency people, that they want to have a person to talk. So it's like if they hire Josh, I want to talk to Josh. I want
Hmm.
to see Josh work. I want to tell him, let's go do a working session. And not all the agencies are going to be able to do that. Not all the agencies are going to be, you're going to be talking to the person that is actually doing the work. Um,
Right.
so I wouldn't shy away if I were a freelancer to just go and say, I want to work with a campaign.
Right.
Apple Apple hires very regularly for their creative videos that you guys see on the WWDC and all of that.
Hmm.
They hire very regularly a lot of people that are not agencies.
Okay. Nice. So the freelance world is still up and alive.
Oh yeah.
Kevin's asking, what was the best investment in leveling up your design skills, course, tools, etc.?
So it's gonna be more shameless plug that I would expect, but definitely joining communities. And in my case, the pro group was instrumental for me.
Hmm.
Uh, I personally was not a good designer, was not a good creative director. I wanted to level up on that. So joining the pro members allowed me to talk with a lot of people that have that experience, that they know how to do it. So when the time came to direct my own team, I had people that I could rely. Like, how can I give feedback on this? I talked to pro members, and it's like, can you jump on a 15-minute call, man?
Mm.
I'm seeing this. This is the message that I want to convey. How do I say it for something that doesn't sound crass to a creative person? That it's clear in terms of direction. So they really help me out.
Mm.
And at the same time, you begin to meet people that are also in the same space and or adjacent space as you. But as much as I can say about the pro group, it can be said about any other community. And one of the things that I think everybody here loves about the Webflow community
Hmm.
is that we all help each other. I have never felt alone in this journey. I know that I can reach out to Twitter and to reach out in the different Slack communities, and I know that I'm gonna get a response, person trying to lend a hand, and that is what keeps me happy every day.
Speaking of community, another shameless plug. State of Flow, everyone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. State of Flow, Florida is coming into the map.
Yep, guys, it's happening next week. My
Oh yeah,
goodness.
my
So
goodness. Next week, this time,
that's
I'm
gonna be
going to be
crazy.
already there.
Yeah, I'm
Jeez.
gonna be there too, and we're so next week, next stream, we are actually not gonna do a stream. We are I might do like a quick live like from my phone or something like that, or do a little vlog uh, footage or whatnot. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be different. So okay, quick. We got a few minutes left. Emmett, how do you find new leads?
So everywhere is the silly answer.
Your
Um,
network, right?
yeah,
Community.
definitely, community is one of the main things.
Hmm.
Um, Having a clear messaging, it definitely helps a lot, because when you are going to do from cold outreach to talking to community people, you need to have your message top of your
Hmm.
head, very, very clear, so you can understand what type of pain point the person you're talking to or you're going to be talking to has, and you can direct them into your offer.
Hmm.
Um, I personally, I'm never, ever, and I'm not, I'm gonna say 99% sure. I'm gonna leave some wiggle room there. I will never use a bot. to contact people,
Mm-hmm.
but I know it works. And we're trying to see how to plan different strategies to talk to mom and pop shops, and work with stores and small businesses in our community and
Mm-hmm.
local community. Um, but to be honest, for the experiences that we had with our local community, I just go to have dinner in some place and I strike a conversation, and sometimes it's either the owner or the manager, and it's like, hey, do you your website could do a little bit better. You see, you have here this issue. Do you think you guys can are interested
Mm-hmm.
in talking to me a little bit more about that? And I hand them a card. That's pretty much it.
And that's kind of your ethos, right? For Friends Agency, just being a friend. And that's kind of
Exactly.
the approach, right?
We
Yeah.
want to make sure that that familiarity that you have with your friends, that you trust them, that you feel comfortable, that you are there with them, stays through and
Mm-hmm.
through from the moment that I start talking or my partners are talking until the end of the project, that they all feel that way. And after, at the beginning, during, and at the end, we're all happy to just share a beer, a meal, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's a good one. How much value in dollars is associated, do you think, with just the strategy? As I know, websites collaboration of strategy and design. So
It's a
ballpark.
fantastic question. It's a fantastic question that I'm going to give you an acceptable answer,
Okay, and it can't be.
because
It can't be. It depends.
no, no, no. I mean, I'm going to be try to be straight. Um, if you ask me what in our pricing on in how much value a client pays us and how much value I attribute the result to the strategy, I would say a solid 70% is laying out the perfect foundation for that strategy.
Wow.
Now, it's very weird if you tell a client, let's say you have $10,000, and they say, here's $10,000, you're going to spend 7,000 on strategy and $1,500 in design and 1.5 in Webflow. They're going to look you a little bit weird. Like the balance is off. So that's why when you craft your offer, the strategy is still an important part, but you're selling the end result. You're selling the product. You're not selling just the strategy, just the design, or just the Webflow. You always try to see everything as a project in itself. So that way, strategy makes a financial sense when they look at it, but you know that that's the part where you need to shine.
Mm, really good. Okay, Walker. I know this is what he's in. He's in the middle of right now. He's landing a huge, massive client. And so, yeah. What if you're on the cusp of landing it, but you feel like you haven't honed your craft? Any advice on that?
Community, community, community.
Yeah.
Uh, we when I was saying, for example, before that we are not 3D experts, that doesn't mean that we're not going to grab a 3D expert project where we're going to be cautious and try to grasp a lot of that information at the beginning, go back to the community and who is the 3D expert. And we were saying the example with Brie at the beginning. Brie is a fantastic designer, and all her designs have that particular feeling, that if I know that that's what the client wants, I'm going to bring her as early as possible so she can take a look with me as my partner and say, this is going to be this much, this time, these are the risks that I see, these are the things that I'm sure that I can do, these are the little things that I'm not so sure. But we are going to go as friends together to bid for the project, to convince the client that we are the safe choice, and then turn around and say, Bree, come here. Time to
Hmm.
make to walk the talk.
Yeah. Gabriel said it best. Organic, authentic conversations with people. That's how
Yeah.
you talk to clients. That's how you talk to community and other freelancers or contractors. Just just being real. Love it. Okay. We got to wrap it up. That's so good. So how can people reach out to you if they want to find out more about Friends Agency, and yeah, like what do you want to share?
Fantastic. So first, if you guys want to talk to me, the best is going to be Twitter. Of course, if we are and we share any Slack community, I have about 27 Slack communities. So I will get to that, but that's okay. And but Twitter is going to be your safest bet.
You know
LinkedIn,
what? We got the same handle. The first name, last name.
Yeah,
That's good.
kudos there to everybody that uses that, and it's like
The
that great
you're
idea.
the Marce
Yeah,
Russo.
absolutely. It's like the only one.
Yeah.
There's no not another one in the planet. And
Got it.
then
Yeah.
friends agency, guys.
Yeah.
If you think that there's a project that you guys want to work with, friends with a three friends.com. Go there, you'll find our little landing page for right now. And if you want to check the project that we did before, since we are not yet migrating the portfolio, click on there to see our portfolio, and you're going to go into Curum Biz, which is our parent company, where currently all of our portfolio companies are there.
Awesome. Fantastic. Anything else you want to share? That's it.
I was gonna say, if everybody wants to check out the pro group, that is the that first initial group that I joined 2 years ago, go to thefuture.com/the pro group. They're by right now they're by application only, so you click in there and you're gonna be talking to someone from the future team. But trust me, guys, it's invaluable. The beautiful community of over 700 people. There's of course access to Chris Doe and in the bi-weekly call, so it's amazing. And we cannot stress enough that if you guys want to join us for the State of Flow in Florida, um,
Yes.
now is the time. Josh is going to be there. I'm going to be there. Raymer is going to be there. And look at all that beautiful mural of
Yes.
that is
Oh,
going to
there he
be.
is. Hey, hey.
Woo, woo.
Yeah, it's going to be a party. It's going to be really fun.
Oh my
I
God.
can't wait.
It's I'm lucky also to be part of the organizing and volunteer team. So guys, come. It's gonna be fun. Cannot reveal too much.
See you there, Peter. Yeah, that's a lot of exciting stuff. So thanks so much, guys. Thanks, Marce, for coming on and sharing all that awesome advice and your workflow. It's been really good. So with that, guys, have a great week. And hope to see you maybe a little snippet next week, if not the week after. All right. Peace out. Have a good one.